enter into God's presence in the midst of His word. So rise and we will read together selection 78, Christian Hope. Christian Hope. As is usual with us, I will take the first part and you will respond with the bolder print at all instances. For those on social media, you can respond in the place of congregation. And God will hear our declarations together in the mighty name of Jesus. The Lord is my portion, saith my soul, therefore will I hope in Him. The Lord is my... For we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, why does he yet hope for? Which hope we have as an anchor of the soul, both sure and steadfast, and which entereth into that within the veil. Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, which according to His abundant mercy hath begotten us again unto a lively hope by the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead. We are kept by the power of God through faith unto salvation, ready to be revealed in the last time. Let us bow our hearts as we pray. Gracious Redeemer, our hearts are bowed before you today. We thank you for inviting us to this banquet today. We give ourselves, O God, to you and promise to abide by your leading. Father, as you take us through the different elements of worship today, we pray that our eyes will be opened so that it will not just be a religious exercise. It will be that which will open up dimensions of grace. Those that are mystery, you will cause them to be plain before us in the mighty name of Jesus. We pray, O God, for everyone here that may be struggling with one thing or the other. Because we have entered into your presence, the freedom to worship will be our experience, and the liberty from diseases will attend unto all of us in the name of Jesus. Help, O God, that today shall be awesome in your presence. In Jesus' mighty name we pray.
We shall continue as we turn our hymnals to 305. Baptist hymnal 305. We shall sing the hymn, Take the Name of Jesus with You. Let us rise, please.
Take the name of Jesus with you, child of sorrow and of woe. It will joy and comfort you. Take it and wherever you go. Precious name, oh how sweet, oh what earth and joy of heaven. Precious name. Take the name of Jesus ever as a shield from every flame. In temptation round you the bricks that precious name. Oh, how sweet. Oh, perfect and joy of glory. Precious name. Oh, how sweet. Oh, perfect and joy of heaven.
Hallelujah. Our hope is in the Lord. Our confidence is in Jesus. He's our everything. Amen. Jehovah Shammah, I see you everywhere. Blessed Redeemer, your glory fills the earth. Everlasting Father, the one who watches me. I put my confidence in Jehovah Shammah. Hey, Jehovah Shammah, I see you everywhere. Blessed Redeemer, your glory fills the earth. Everlasting Father, the one who watches me. I put my confidence in Jehovah Shammah. Hey, Jehovah Shammah, I see you everywhere. Blessed Redeemer, your glory fills the earth. Everlasting Father, the one who watches me. I put my confidence in you, Jehovah Shammah. Jehovah Shammah, I see you everywhere. Blessed Redeemer, your glory fills the earth. Everlasting Father, the one who watches me. I put my confidence in you, Jehovah Shammah. Hey, Jehovah Shammah. Oh, your glory fills the earth, everlasting. The one who watches me, I put my confidence in you, Jehovah Shammah. Everybody sing Jehovah Shammah. I see you everywhere. You're the blessed Redeemer. Your glory fills the earth. Everlasting Father, the one who watches me. I put my confidence in Jehovah Shammah. You are Jehovah Shammah, and I see you everywhere. You're my blessed Redeemer, and your glory fills the earth. You're the everlasting Father. You're the one who watches us. We can lose our confidence in you, Jehovah Shammah. Say Jehovah Shammah, we see you everywhere. Blessed Redeemer, your glory fills the earth. Everlasting Father, the one who watches me. I put my confidence in Jehovah. Come on, declare the word. Declare the word. Declare those words to the Lord. He's the first thing. Tell him who he is to you. Declare those words to the Lord. Who is he to you? Is he the one your confidence lies in? Where is your confidence? Tell me where your confidence is in. Even Jehovah Shammah, the one who sits upon the throne, the light in the darkness, the way maker, the promise keeper, the one who says you will not die but live. Our confidence is in him. No one but him. Someone say, hey, Jehovah Shammah, I see you everywhere. You're the blessed Redeemer. Your glory fills the earth. Everlasting Father, the one who watches
Shall we turn our Bibles to 1 Kings chapter 18? I will read from verse 41 down through the end of that chapter. 1 Kings chapter 18 from verse 41 through 46. Elijah said to Ahab, "Go, eat and drink, for there is the sound of a heavy rain." So Ahab went off to eat and drink. But Elijah turned to the top of Carmel, bent down to the ground, and put his face between his knees. "Go and look towards the sea," he told his servant. And he went up and looked. "There is nothing there," he said. 7 times Elijah said, "Go back." The 7th time the servant reported, "A cloud as small as a man's hand is rising from the sea." So Elijah said, "Go and tell Ahab, hitch up your chariot and go down before the rain stops you." Meanwhile, the sky grew black with clouds, the wind rose, a heavy rain started falling, and Ahab rode off to Jezreel. The power of the Lord came on Elijah, and tucking his cloak into his belt, he ran ahead of Ahab all the way to Jezreel. Shall we pray together? Oh, Father, we thank you for your word. As we go into your word, we pray that you will open our eyes, you will speak to us. Anoint my lips, touch the ears, touch our hearts. Grant us understanding of your word. Turn us around unto yourself, because we have prayed in Jesus' name. In Elijah's days, the religious life of the northern kingdom, you remember, it has divided into the northern kingdom and southern kingdom. The southern kingdom is called Judah. The northern kingdom, Israel. But this time we are looking at the northern kingdom. The religious crisis there had fallen. You remember Jeroboam came and led them astray. So there has been problem. Problem because the God of Israel has been abandoned. Now, the king Ahab, who married a Phoenician, did not even help matters. While Jezebel was coming, she came with the idol of the land, Baal. Actually, Baal was a fertility god. And so, he came with the Baal. He came with the female idol called Asherah. And in Israel, they had prophets. Baal, about 450. Asherah, about 400. Making 850. And Jezebel was feeding them, using the state's money, government money, to feed the people. Although Ahab gave names that we may call Christian names today to his children, but he never meant it from heart. He just wanted people to be satisfied. And so he did that so that people will not talk. And that was the situation in the northern part, which we call Israel, when the man called Elijah just jumped into the sea. Not much is known of this man. We only heard in chapter 17 verse 1 that now Elijah the Tishbite from Tishbe in Gilead said to Ahab, as the Lord the God of Israel lives, whom I serve, there will be neither dew nor rain in the next few years except at my word. I mean, who was the father? How was he called to the ministry of prophets? They were not told. And all of a sudden the man just jumped. The man jumped because God sent him. Anytime our religious life is going down, something will happen. Even as individuals and as families, anytime things are not going well, something will happen to call our attention that things are not going well. And so, from there we now begin to see the narrative of Elijah, the context, the conquest, the change of things. Now, Israel, which is the northern kingdom, remember that when they were leaving Egypt, they were together. God told them that the land they were going to inherit will be land that flows with milk and honey. But now the land that was to flow with milk and honey, there was no rainfall for 3.5 years. And so it turned to a desert land. And God was there looking. Desert, no food. Desert, no water. Desert, nothing at all. The man called Ahab was a king who ruled 874 to 852. Just some 25 years or 20 few years. And one thing about this man is that we were told in 1 Kings chapter 16 verse 33 that this man, Ahab, also made an Asherah pole and did more to provoke the Lord, the God of Israel, to anger than did all the kings of Israel before him. So the record we have about this man is that he was a sinner and that he even sinned more than any other king. What a comment. He did not turn the hearts of the people back to God, but it is written about him that he committed sin more than all the people before him. One thing we need to know, when we are alive, people may not say some certain things. But the very moment we die, the things that were never said before will now be said. Never you think anybody has forgotten anything. The things you did in secret will be said in the open. And look at this one, it was even written black and white. So that we are even reading what he did in Port Harcourt. And yet many of us do not even know Israel. Be careful of the way you live your life. Because when you are no more, people will talk about it. Live your life to please God. How can a whole king be introduced as someone who sings more than other people? What a pride. know me? No, we don't know you. I am the king who sinned more than any other king. So things turn around. Because our God cannot condone sin. God turned the fertile land to a desert land. And the people were suffering. No food, no water. Even Elijah himself, the man of God, suffered. Remember, he was sent to the brook Cherith, and he was there. The birds of the air, the ravine, they were feeding him. After some time, within that 3 years, that brook dried. He was sent to Zarephath. A woman there started feeding him. Anytime we sin, both the righteous and the sinners suffer. And that is the case. And so what are we going to do? God sent famine, dryness. God sent evil to the land. Since you say you are abandoning me, yes, I will look at you. Whether you can take care of yourself without me. But again, because God wants the people to hear, he preserved someone. Obadiah was there. The name Obadiah just means servant of God. And the king Ahab said to Obadiah, Obadiah, let us go. You take one part, let me take another part, so that we shall look for grass to feed our animals. King Ahab was one who loved his animals more than he loved the people. He never cared whether the people ate. He never cared whether the people drank. His concern was his animal. Let's go. I don't want the animals to die. Allow the human beings to die, but for the animals, no. Let's go. In 1 Kings chapter 18, verse 5, Ahab had said to Obadiah, go through the land to all the springs and valleys. Maybe we can find some grass to keep the horses and mules alive, so we will not have to kill any of our animals. He loved his animals. The president of his own country, King Ahab, loved animals. Human beings were suffering. He cared for animals. I don't want them to die. For human beings, let them die. After all, their relations will carry and bury them. Any king that does not know God, this is one of the ways to know them. And God sat and was looking. Obadiah was a high-ranking officer in the man's house. And so he took care. Then they went. They go to the place and parted ways. They came one way, Obadiah the other way. And they were looking for grass. Then Elijah surfaced again. Say, Elijah said, Obadiah, he says, go and tell your man, I am here. Let him come and see me. He said, but sir, you know the Spirit of God can just take you away to another place. If I come and I don't see you, this man has been looking for you. He will put knife on my neck. He said, no, I will wait for you. Go. You will see me. So when the king came, he saw Elijah. He said, hey, you traveler of Israel. Elijah also answered, no, I am not the one troubling Israel. It is you and your father's house. Any king who does not rule well according to the dictates of God brings problem, not only to his people, but to the people he rules. And that is what happened. Then Obadiah went, told King Ahab, Elijah is waiting for you, my Lord. Yeah, right? So they met. And Elijah said, see, you don't know anything. In verse 17 of chapter 18 of 1 Kings, there was a meeting. When he saw Elijah, he said to him, is that you? You trouble of Israel. In verse 18, I have not made trouble for Israel, Elijah replied, but you and your father's family have. You have abandoned the Lord's commands and have followed the Baals, the strange god. Then Elijah said, you know what? Let there be a contest. Let there be a contest. You already have prophets of Baal, and I am the prophet of God. Call them, and we don't need to doubt whether Yahweh is God or another person. Call them, and let us see. So all of them were called. And on Mount Carmel, there was a contest between the two. 1 versus 450. And the man said, yes, build an altar. You first start. Build an altar. Kill your animal. Set it on the altar. Don't put fire. And now call on the name of your God to send fire from heaven onto this thing. And the people say, that is not a big deal. So because there were many, they did it very well and set the altar. And they started calling, oh God, oh Baal, answer us. Oh Baal, answer us. Oh Baal, answer us. Oh Baal, answer us. The Bible tells us that they even dance around the altar. They dance around and they expected Baal to answer them. But there was no answer. In 1 Kings chapter 18, starting from verse 24, then you call on the name of your God, and I will call on the name of the Lord, the God who answers by fire, he is God. Then all the people said, yeah, what you say is good. So Elijah said to the prophets of Baal, choose one of the bulls and prepare it first. Since there were so many, call on the name of your God, but do not light the fire. So they took the bull given them. Then they call on the name of Baal from morning till noon, saying, oh Baal, answer us. Oh Baal, answer us. Oh Baal, answer us. Oh Baal, answer us. And they danced round the altar. And Elijah said, shout now, oh Baal, answer us. Oh Baal, answer us. And they were dancing round. But there was no answer. No one answered them. And they danced round the altar that they have made, shouting, oh Baal. And after some time, Elijah even came and said, shout now, maybe your God has traveled. If you shout very well, he will hear. He may be coming to Port Harcourt, but he has not reached Indiana. So shout very well. And the people, oh, answer us. But there was no answer. And the man of the Lord says, maybe he's asleep. Wake him up with your noise. And the people did that. At noon, Elijah began to count them. Shout louder, he said. Surely he is God. Perhaps he is deep in thought or busy or traveling. Maybe he is sleeping and must be awakened. So they shouted louder and slashed themselves with swords and spears, as was their custom, until their blood flowed. Midday passed, and they continued their frantic prophesying until the time of the evening sacrifice. But there was no response. No one answered. No one paid attention. So towards the time of evening sacrifice, it was at 4. Elijah came. All right, you have cut yourselves, there is blood, but your God has not answered. Maybe he is angry with you. You have even prophesied, but your prophecy did not come true. And he said, wait, he repaired the altar of the Lord. The very first step of any nation, of any family, is to repair the altar of the Lord. The altar of the Lord in many homes have broken. Relationships between husband and wives are no longer what it used to be. When they said, I do. I so and so accept you as my wedded husband and wife. I will love you, I will care for you. And in the reception, feed your husband. The wife will even kneel down. But after that, what happens? The Lord with money. Any nation that leaves the altar of the Lord broken will not succeed. We need to re-examine ourselves in Nigeria. Is the altar of the Lord intact in Nigeria? Or is the altar of the Lord broken in Nigeria? We need to repair it. If we want God to do something in our lives, the first thing is the repair of the altar of the Almighty God. And so the altar of the Almighty God was repaired. He set it up. 12 stones representing the 12 tribes of Israel. In verse 31, or from verse 30, then Elijah says to all the people, come here to me. They came to me and he repaired the altar of the Lord, which was in ruins. Many of us, our spiritual lives are in ruins. Elijah took 12 stones, one for each of the tribes descended from Jacob, to whom the word of the Lord had come, saying, your name shall be Israel. With the stones he built an altar in the name of the Lord, and he dug a trench round it, large enough to hold 2 seahs of seed. He arranged the wood, cut the bull into pieces, and laid it on the wood. Then he said to them, fill 4 large jars with water and pour it on the offering and on the wood. They did it again. They did it about 3 times. And at the time of sacrifice, Elijah, in verse 36, at the time of sacrifice, the prophet Elijah stepped forward and prayed a simple prayer. O Lord God of Abraham, God of Isaac, God of Israel, let it be known today that you are the God in Israel, and that I am your servant, and I have done all these things at your command. Answer me, O Lord. Answer me. So these people will know that you, O Lord, are God, and that you are turning their hearts back again. With this simple prayer, the fire of the Lord, the fire not from God, it was God's fire himself. The fire of the Lord fell from heaven, bam, on the offering. And as the fire came on the offering, the wood was burning. The water that was in the trench, the fire consumed everything and even licked up the water. When the people saw this, all of them cried, saying, "The Lord, He is God! The Lord, He is God! The Lord, He is God!" I remember leaving my town for a morning one day, very early in the morning, around 5 o'clock. We entered one Peugeot 504 station wagon. It looked new. It was a different vehicle. And so the vehicle was moving. And some of us calculated, if it is at 5, before 7, we will be in Ilorin. That is all right. How many Ilorin to this place? 135 kilometers. So plus or minus, now we are still all right. So the vehicle was moving. I was running. The road was fair. The potholes were not too many. And all of a sudden, we saw the driver struggling with the steering. The bolt that tied the steering had gotten loosed. So the steering was now free. Could not control. But we were on speed. One funny thing was, at that very point, Jesus was there waiting for us. Because instead of us to go down fully, we were climbing. So the speed had to reduce. But again, we got to the corner. The tire could not turn. So we veered off the road. And all of us, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. I am a pastor. I'm sorry, the only name I know. Take the name of Jesus with you. I called Jesus, Jesus, all of us. Now, we entered into a clay, not mud, clay. And the clay held the 4 tires. But because of the high speed, it jumped out and just touched a shrub and stopped. Not even the headlight broke. We all came out. Lo and behold, there were Muslims in the vehicle, and all of us were shouting the name of Jesus. Here, the people prostrated, they cried, they shouted, "The Lord, He is God! The Lord, He is God!" Then Elijah commanded, all the fake prophets, kill them. 450 of them died. And today, if you still get to Mount Carmel, you will see a statue of Elijah and his knife and another prophet under him. But after that, Elijah now said to Ahab, "King, move to your headquarters at Jezreel, because the land has not received rain for 3.5 years. There is a sound of abundance of rain. Move." Verse 41. And Elijah said to Ahab, "Go, eat and drink, for there is the sound of a heavy rain." So Ahab went off to eat and drink. But Elijah climbed to the top of Carmel, bent down to the ground, and put his face between his knees. Although Nigeria has been experiencing dryness, the whole world has been experiencing dryness. Coronavirus, a disease we don't even know its cause, a disease that has no medicine, a disease that has no vaccine, a disease that not much can even be said about it. Millions of people, over 2 million people have died. May I tell you today that the Lord who is God will make a change in Jesus' name. There is a sound of abundance of rain. Our dry land will be turned to fertile land. Our dead businesses will be resuscitated. Every sick person will receive the touch of the Almighty God. It is only God that can do it. I sat down and I looked at it. Corona, no medicine, no vaccine. People are dying, over 2 million. Yet we were told, if there is anything to go by, that some people are being cured. What did they use? Something that has no medicine. Then they will say they have tested them two times and they are now negative. Yet no medicine. What did they use? When the hand of God is in something, there is a difference. When the hand of God is in a man, it doesn't matter the type of medicine you give. It is not the medicine that is working. It is the hand of God. The hand of God will step into your life in Jesus' name. Every desert of your life will be turned to fertile land in Jesus' name. All the dried springs and rivers, the Lord will fill them back with water. Because that is what He wants you to be. He wants you to experience a fertile land. A land that flows with milk and honey. Not dryness of any land. The Lord will make a change. Nigeria will experience a change. The whole world will experience a change. Your family will experience a change. Your businesses will experience a change. Because the hand of God can make that change. And the man said, go. God is making a change. But while the king was going, the prophet climbed the mountain and said, hey, boy, go towards the Mediterranean Sea. Go and see what is happening. Because I can sense the sound of abundance of rainfall. The man went, first time, sir, nothing. Say, come on, 7 times. 7 times. Go. The man went, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. The 7th time he came and said, sir, in verse 44, the 7th time the servant reported, a cloud as small as a man's hand is rising from the sea. When the men of God pray, the hand of God appears. It doesn't matter how big that hand is. The hand of God is always the hand of God. I can see a cloud, but as small as a man's hand. And the man said, yes, yes. When you pray, the hand of God will make a change of things. When you pray, the hands of God will appear, and there will be an end to every evil that may be ravaging the land. The hand of God is there. The hand of God is always there to appear. The hand of God is always there to make a change. Yes, a change will happen. Nigeria will overcome. I don't know when. But with the hand of God and the situation in the world today, Nigeria will overcome. The world will overcome. Our God is still there. The keeper of Israel does not sleep, neither does he slumber. The Lord is your keeper in the afternoon. Even in the night, he is your watchman. The Lord is your security. And so, what happened? Elijah said to Ahab, come on, get ready. Move on. Move on now. Move on. In your chariot. Move away to Jezreel. And meanwhile, when the man was moving, something was happening. That hand that looked like the hand of man became thicker, a sign of heavy rainfall. Verse 45 tells us that meanwhile the sky grew black with clouds. The wind started. And the next thing was a heavy rain that came. And Ahab was running now to his house, his palace in Jezreel. But the power of God came upon Elijah to the extent that Elijah outran the king and got to the palace before the king. When the hand of God appears in your hand, things will change. When the hands of God appears in your life, every dryness will be turned to wetland. Every dried river and springs will be filled with water. But first, repair the altar of the Lord. Can you say, Lord, I give my life unto you? There is hope, not in man, not in any government, but in God. There is hope. Whenever the people of God said the altar of God rightly and call on his name, he will never fail to answer. Every altar of self, every altar of a strange idol, every altar of selfishness must all be destroyed. They are all negative altars. They need to be destroyed first, and the right altar properly built. Heaven is always ready to turn our dry land to wetland, and heaven is ready to make a change. While Baal was asleep, our God was awake. He is the keeper of Israel. People may be dying, but your God is still alive. He watches over you. Can you say, Lord Jesus, I come to you now. Take my life. Let it be your will. I surrender everything unto you. Can you say, Lord, I want to rebuild the broken altar in my home? You are here this morning. Someone has offended you and you have counted many years. And you have said only heaven. See, they don't settle quarrel in heaven. You may not even get there. Talk less of settling any quarrel. Settle here now. As soon as you settle, you are repairing the broken altar of God in your life. Can you say, Lord Jesus, here am I. I want to repair that broken altar. I want to settle that score. I want to settle that quarrel. Forget whether you are innocent or you are guilty. As long as the broken altar is repaired, then by next week, you will have a testimony that the broken altar, once it was repaired, things changed in your life. Come to Jesus. Say, I give my life unto you. Shall we pray together? On the note that God has stopped this message, there is a call that we give our lives to Christ. The implication of that is you need to do that for us to get to the next level. If you don't give your life to Christ, it is just a waste of time. So I want you in a moment to just say, Jesus, I come to you. I hand my life over to you. Take me. I come to you, Jesus. That is my commitment today. If I will get to the next step, I have to have that connection. Help that this morning, that will be my experience in the mighty name of Jesus. As you make that decision, you go to the next step, which is to rebuild the altar. The altar has been damaged in our lives, in our families, in our nation. How can we step up to build it? Pastor gave us different things we can think of. One, we can forgive those that we are holding in our hearts. Those, whether we are innocent, whether we are guilty, is not the issue here. You want to resettle things. So can you make that commitment this morning so that you will not just come to give a religious duty, but you will be giving yourself the grace of the next level. As you do this, grace shall be your portion in the mighty name of Jesus. Finally, faith is being built by this message. Elijah didn't see much. What he saw is a hand, something that looks like a hand. They have been looking out for it, they have not seen it. But when he saw that little thing, he knew that the sound of abundance of rain is about, that was the sound of the abundance of rain. I can say to you, it doesn't matter what you have been passing through, it doesn't matter the pain you are in. The fact that today there is a word that has been released, that something is coming your way. You will see it, you will not die in the mighty name of Jesus. You will come to that place of grace, that place of mercy, that place that there is a turnaround in your situation. Father, we thank you for your message to us today. We thank you for the servants you used to bring the words. We ask our Father that these words will not return to you void. In the mighty name of Jesus. Your word is a lamp unto our feet, is a lamp unto our paths, a light unto our paths. We declare today, our Father, we will begin to see clearly and move in your direction in the name of Jesus. We pray for those that have accepted you as Lord and Savior this morning, that have caused that connection to be made. We pray, oh God, this connection will remain forever in the mighty name of Jesus. We pray that they will meet with people that will help them to grow in faith. Father, for those of us that have altars destroyed, because you have given us a perspective, we pray, oh God, we will rebuild our altars in the mighty name of Jesus. We will join in rebuilding the altar of Nigeria, of our families, and everything will come back to normalcy in the mighty name of Jesus. Thank you, gracious Redeemer. Be exalted forever. For the servant you use again, we cover him with your precious blood and set him up for the next assignment, to bring your word to your people, words of comfort, words of hope, words of warning. Father, help him do this continually. In Jesus' mighty name we pray.
Praise the Lord. We are going to take the last hymn, and as we take the hymn, we will be receiving our offering. So, before the hymn, let us just go to God in prayer, so that during the hymn we'll take the offerings and let us go to God in prayer. Our Lord and our King, we thank you for this privilege to give, even in acknowledgement of all your goodness in our lives, especially through these trying and challenging times, O Lord. We say thank you. Father, again, we pray that if there be any broken altars in our homes, grant us the grace, O Lord, to rebuild those altars, O Lord, and continue to live for you. Father, the offering that we're going to collect now, grant that it will be used for the glory of your name, for the forging of your kingdom here on earth. Thank you, our Lord and our King, for in Jesus' mighty name we have prayed.
Let us turn to Baptist Hymnal 283. Baptist Hymnal 283, The Solid Rock. Let us rise, please.
My hope is built on nothing less than Jesus' blood and righteousness. I dare not trust the sweetest shame, but only lean on Jesus' name. I'm free to myself, all the ground is sinking sand, all other ground is sinking sand. When darkness seems to hide its face, I rest on Him, unchanging grace. In every high and stormy gale, I am caught within the veil. So I will all the ground is sinking sand, all other ground is sinking sand. His word is open as the cloud. All other ground is sinking sand. When He shall come with trumpet sound, all may I hear Him in His sound, dressed in His darkness to stand before the throne. All can be sinking sand, all other ground is sinking sand.
Church, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. It's time to worship the Lord even with the testimonies and thanksgivings of our brethren. A sister thanks God for His sustenance. Another sister thanks God for His faithfulness in providing for her during this period of lockdown. Yet another sister thanks God for supplying the needs of her family and healing her of an ailment that almost took her life, that was supposed to be carried out in surgery, but ended up not performing the surgery. Praise the Lord. Another sister thanks God for His sufficiency in supplies and protection. A brother thanks God for sustaining him in the period of lockdown. A sister thanks God for His love and faithfulness over her family. Another sister thanks God as she turns another year of life and His sustained protection. Brother Abaye, some 2 Sundays back, coveted our prayers over his ailing mother then. Now the Lord has answered our prayer in His own way as He has called her home. The woman will understand, the late mother will understand is buried. Brother Babaye Bob Manuel is also bereaved of his mother. Please identify with him in prayers and words of comfort these times. We thank God for his sustaining love. Please stay alive by keeping to the rules of the time. The man of God has said it, we shall overcome this period. You will be part of the people that will overcome this period, because it will form a testimony of the stories you will hand over to your generations. Be strong in the Lord. May God help us in Jesus' name.
We want to thank all of you for your coming. Last week there was no second service. We want to say we are sorry, and we thought we were not going to see people, so we just decided to wait today. So please, we are sorry for that, and for those of you who came, you did not miss much, except that you only watched what we did. If you had seen us, even just seeing us, we have been the only thing that could have been added. But again, we thank you for your coming. On Friday, first day encounter will be around 10 o'clock in the morning. 10 o'clock, May 1. And we shall be here, we shall hear it. It's going to be just as we have our services. If you are at home, this day I don't think there can be any gathering of May Day. So if you can come, please come, but make sure you do not cluster yourselves in one place. Scatter, social distancing, physical distancing, and we shall have the first day encounter. The Lord will bless you in Jesus' name. Shall we rise? Father, once again we want to thank you for your word. We bless and we bow before you because you are the Holy God. Father, once again accept our thanksgiving in Jesus' name. As we go, we pray your favor will go with us. You are the healer. Father, heal our land in Jesus' name. Enough of the spread of the infection of this corona. God, touch us in Jesus' name. We want the power of transformation. We want people to know that indeed you are the only one who can do it. Father, let there be a miracle in Jesus' name. We thank you, Father. Take every honor, take every glory of our lives, because we have prayed in Jesus' name. And now, with the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God the Father, and the sweet fellowship of the Holy Spirit, be with you now and forevermore. Thank you, and God bless you.